This is CryptoCast Daily, quick, clear, and current. Hit like and subscribe for the latest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. Here are the top highlights shaping the crypto market today. Backpack opens regulated Perpetuals exchange in Europe after FTX EU acquisition. Sui-Based yield protocol Nemo exploited for $2.4 million in USDC. Hyperliquid faces community pushback against Stripe-linked USDH proposal. XRP and Sol signal bullish strength while traders hedge for downside in Bitcoin and Ether. DOGE price action builds higher lows while resistance holds. What next as XRP consolidates under $3 as descending triangle narrows? Asia morning briefing, BTC Treasury demand is weakening, CryptoQuant cautions. Stripe's Tempo blockchain is a referendum on the ghost of Libra, says Libra co-creator. Chainlink CEO sees tokenization as sector's rising future after meeting Atkins. Bitcoin illiquid supply hits record 14.3 M as long-term holders continue to accumulate. Stablecoin retail transfers break records in 2025, hit $5.8 billion in August. Spot Ether ETFs shed $952 million over 5 days as recession fears grow. ARK Invest snaps up $23.5 million in Bitmine and Bullish shares across flagship ETFs. Bitcoin stays below $112,000 after tough jobs report and Fed cut bets. What next? Santiment highlights 5 of this week's top trending coins: BTC, ETH, DOGE, USDT, EGLD. Bitcoin and stablecoins dominate as India, US Top 2025 Crypto Adoption Index. Stablecoin X secures $530 million investment to back Athena-linked Treasury. The banks and the unbanked. Blockchain's biggest beneficiaries sit at both ends of the financial spectrum. DOGE flashes bullish signal as RSI holds neutral and volume surges. Tokenization offers enhanced liquidity, but faces major hurdles, BofA says. Stay tuned as we break down the details behind these headlines. Backpack Exchange has launched its European division, Backpack EU.
Backpack EU is operating out of Cyprus and is licensed under the European Union's MiFID II framework.
It is one of the first regulated venues in Europe to offer crypto derivatives, starting with perpetual futures.
Backpack acquired FTX EU earlier this year.
The acquisition was initially unauthorized by the FTX bankruptcy estate but has since been resolved.
Backpack EU will offer over 40 trading pairs with up to 10 times leverage.
The platform aims to provide retail and institutional traders with a compliant gateway to advanced crypto trading products.
Backpack uses a proof of reserve system and publishes its validators' attestations daily. Hyperliquid is facing community pushback over its proposed stablecoin USDH.
A vote on September 14 will determine who issues the dollar-pegged token.
This token could replace the $5.5 billion of USDC currently on the platform.
Several bidders have emerged including Paxos, Frax, and a coalition involving Agora and MoonPay.
A proposal linked to Stripe is causing the most controversy.
Some community members worry giving Stripe control of the monetary layer is risky.
They feel it would cede economic sovereignty to a competitor building its own blockchain.
Agora CEO Nick Van Eck questioned the wisdom of this move. XRP and Solana options show bullish sentiment, while Bitcoin and Ether options suggest downside fears.
XRP call options are more expensive than puts, indicating a bullish bias, especially for a year-end rally.
Solana options also reflect bullishness, with December calls trading at a premium to puts.
XRP optimism is linked to potential spot exchange-traded fund approvals in the United States.
Multiple issuers have applications pending with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Decisions are delayed, but a synchronized approval or rejection could significantly impact XRP prices.
The XRP community anticipates substantial gains if exchange-traded funds are approved.
Solana optimism likely stems from the recent approval of its Alpenglow upgrade, boosting network speed.
Dogecoin traded between 21 and 22 cents today.
Buyers defended the 21-cent level.
Sellers capped gains near 22 cents.
Momentum improved on rebounds with higher volume.
However, late fades kept Dogecoin pinned below resistance.
No specific news drove this price action.
Trading focused on order flow around these key levels.
The range was roughly 3 to 4%.
A quick rebound from 21 cents formed a V-shaped recovery. XRP climbed from $2.83 to $2.88 on Monday.
A breakout push briefly tested $2.92 on 6 times the average volume.
Bulls held above $2.86 support.
Repeated rejection at $2.90 to $2.92 capped upside momentum.
Institutional inflows remain strong with Federal Reserve rate cut bets near 100%.
This leaves XRP consolidating just under critical resistance.
Market analyst Dom flagged over 10 million XRP net buy pressure in 15 minutes during the breakout.
The technical community is split between bearish divergence on weekly charts versus bullish breakout projections toward $4.50.
Bitcoin treasury companies hold more Bitcoin than ever.
However, CryptoQuant reports they are buying more cautiously.
Treasury holdings reached 840,000 Bitcoin this year.
Yet average purchase size has dropped significantly.
Strategy bought only 1,200 Bitcoin per transaction in August.
Other firms averaged 343 Bitcoin, both down 86% from 2025 highs.
This suggests liquidity constraints or decreased conviction.
Transaction activity remains high, but individual deals are much smaller. Christian Catalini, co-creator of Facebook's Libra project, warned about Stripe's Tempo and Circle's Arc.
He said they could succeed commercially but at the cost of crypto's decentralization ideal.
Libra aimed to create a global digital currency but faced regulatory backlash.
It was eventually shut down in 2022.
Catalini discussed Libra's compromises, such as abandoning non-custodial wallets due to regulatory pressure.
He noted the irony that open networks are now developing compliance tools that could have addressed those concerns.
He described this as a signal of where corporate-led projects were heading.
He warned that any network with an architect is living on borrowed time. Chainlink Chief Executive Officer Sergey Nazarov met with Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Paul Atkins.
Nazarov stated Atkins is interested in bringing on-chain assets into compliance with securities laws.
Nazarov believes real-world asset tokenization will become the majority of the market capitalization.
He was impressed with the agency's shift towards facilitating blockchain tokenization safely and efficiently.
Nazarov also met with White House crypto liaison Patrick Witt.
He is hopeful due to the urgency displayed by the Securities and Exchange Commission in the White House.
He believes blockchain infrastructure will integrate with existing financial regulations.
Nazarov thinks full tokenization may occur by the middle of next year.
Bitcoin illiquid supply has reached a record high of over 14.3 million Bitcoin.
This represents about 72% of the 19.9 million Bitcoin currently in circulation.
The illiquid supply is held by entities with little history of spending, such as long-term holders and cold storage investors.
This growth indicates a sustained accumulation trend despite recent market volatility.
Even after Bitcoin price retreated from its all-time high, illiquid supply continued to increase.
This demonstrates that holders are not discouraged by short-term corrections.
Over the past 30 days, the illiquid supply has increased by 20,000 Bitcoin.
This suggests tightening supply dynamics that could lead to renewed momentum when sentiment recovers.
Retail stablecoin transfers have reached record highs this year.
Transaction volumes through August have already surpassed last year's total.
Retail transactions, those under $250, exceeded $5.84 billion in August alone.
This is the highest level ever recorded.
2025 is already the busiest year for stablecoin transfer volume at the consumer level.
Stablecoins are becoming increasingly integrated into everyday financial activities.
These activities range from cross-border remittances to microtransactions.
A survey of over 2,600 consumers in emerging markets supports this trend.
Spot Ether exchange-traded funds saw 5 straight days of outflows this week.
These funds shed $952 million total and over $787 million in just 4 days.
This follows a record August where Spot Ether exchange-traded funds gained $3.87 billion.
Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, however, experienced $751 million in net outflows according to SoSo Value data.
Friday saw the largest decline with $446.71 million leaving these Ether-linked funds.
Spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds actually saw $246.4 million in net inflows over the past week.
This contrasts with last month's $751.1 million in net outflows for Bitcoin funds.
Ether is up over 16% in the past month but down 1.8% last week, trading near $4,300.
Cathie Wood's ARK Invest increased its investments in crypto-related equities on Friday.
The firm purchased more than $23.5 million in BitMine Immersion Technologies and crypto exchange Bullish.
These purchases were spread across 3 of its actively managed exchange-traded funds.
The ARK Innovation Exchange Traded Fund, ARK Next Generation Internet Exchange Traded Fund, and ARK Fintech Innovation Exchange Traded Fund collectively acquired 387,000 shares of BitMine.
They also acquired 144,000 shares of Bullish, worth over $23.5 million at Friday's close.
The ARK Innovation Exchange Traded Fund led the way, adding 257,108 BitMine shares and 81,811 Bullish shares.
The ARK Next Generation Internet Exchange Traded Fund and ARK Fintech Innovation Exchange Traded Fund split the remainder. The United States jobs report disappointed expectations, adding only 22,000 jobs in August.
This is far below the projected 75,000 additions, impacting Bitcoin's potential rally.
Bitcoin remains below $112,000 despite increased bets on Federal Reserve rate cuts.
This suggests a possible deeper sell-off in the near future.
The jobs report also revised down job creation numbers for June and July.
9 sectors, including manufacturing and construction, experienced job losses.
The probability of a Federal Reserve rate cut in September has risen to 100%.
This increased likelihood of rate cuts has lowered Treasury yields.
Bitcoin dominated conversations this week with discussions on its role as digital gold and long-term investment appeal.
Ethereum also saw significant mentions, often appearing in promotional materials for new tokens highlighting ease of transfer and spending.
Dogecoin gained attention due to a planned United States-listed exchange-traded fund and expanded mining operations.
Tether sparked interest with its strategy to invest more heavily in the gold supply chain, referring to gold as natural Bitcoin.
Finally, Multiverse X discussions focused on concerns about increased EGLD supply and potential project migration to other chains.
This data comes from Santiment, a platform that tracks market and on-chain data for thousands of crypto assets.
They provide weekly roundups highlighting projects generating the most discussion among traders and investors.
These insights offer valuable context for understanding current trends in the cryptocurrency market.
India and the United States lead the world in cryptocurrency adoption this year.
This is according to Chainalysis 2025 Geography of Cryptocurrency report.
India ranks first in every measured subcategory.
The United States is second overall, boosted by institutional participation following spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund approvals.
Asia Pacific is the fastest-growing region with on-chain transaction volume up 69% year-over-year.
This reached $2.36 trillion, driven by activity in India, Pakistan, and Vietnam.
Stablecoins remain important with Tether and USDC accounting for trillions in monthly flows.
Bitcoin is the primary entry point for fiat, attracting $4.6 trillion in inflows.
Capital markets are in flux as monetary policy highlights a fragmented global economy.
Blockchain offers a superior alternative for borderless digital asset transactions.
Its main beneficiaries are financial institutions and the unbanked population.
Institutions gain speed and scalability, while the unbanked gain access and equity.
Franklin Templeton illustrates this institutional awakening.
Their tokenized money market fund drastically reduces transaction costs.
This validates the infrastructure for both boardrooms and the financially excluded.
This same technology can facilitate faster, cheaper remittances.
Dogecoin price rose almost 1% with a 29% volume surge above weekly averages.
Buyers quickly absorbed a midday sell-off to 21.3 cents.
Traders are watching 22 cents as a key breakout level.
Dogecoin reached a local high of 21.57 cents with volume almost 30% above weekly benchmarks.
Reports of a $200 million Dogecoin Treasury initiative led by Elon Musk's legal counsel boosted institutional credibility.
The first United States Dogecoin exchange-traded fund applications were reportedly filed.
Futures activity surged 119% in August.